post the thingamadoohickey. What are we calling it? The marquee. And we'll try this new intro that we're doing. These events, experiences are wild because it feels like to me like that part in the movie where the guy's trying to throw himself off the edge of the cliff and he's like motioning back and forth. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. It's kind of like where we are here. We got some person that like, pretty sure it's a bot, but I'm okay with it. But they liked one of the things, so whether you're real or not, we're gonna go ahead and be like, I see you. I see you. Discard. There we go. And then we just tag that dude. Random fucking reason. Because it's fun. And we're off. Okay. So now that's done. Welcome. I do purposely perform as Simple Sean. A lot more went into that name than you think, than you're aware of. Fuck, I fucked it up. Than you're aware of. But as the boomers of the boomers would say, what's in a name? I do regretfully inform you of your involuntary involvement in our experiment. This is our third online simulation, so it's getting better. There is somebody who there's an entity that liked the one of the do framases, so there's the reaction. So it's interesting that now this is officially an action, because I know of a reaction. So we're on the next step of the thought becoming an idea. That being said, I rambled a little bit there. That being said, this is your warning. Anything that happens after this moment is entirely your fault. Translation, if you're having a bad day, it's because you made bad choices. The most direct way I can say it would be, if you're having a bad time, you're choosing to have a bad time. So choose to have a better time. And if you can't choose to have a better time, then that's your reality. That's too aggressive. We need to tone that one down. We didn't go that deep in it. You have just gotta let it sit. That's the punchline. If you're having a bad time, it's because you're choosing to have a bad time. So let's choose to have a good time. Now, I've mentioned our experiment. I think this is where it goes horribly wrong. Like, I can't flow smooth to there, but like it's there. I'm getting the line, but when I get to the point of after, I'll tell you what the experiment is. It's like, do I explain? I think I need to just it's I think I just need to like the joke is in the explanation. Like, so this entire thing is a very large, elaborate joke of the absurd. Um, I I have the idea for the greatest day. My greatest day is any day that I sit by a fire pit, uh, and I'm able to smoke a joint with some of my people. Right, like that's my perfect day. Um, and and your purpose in life is to achieve your perfect day. That's what we're told anyway. So this is me maximizing the amount of my perfect days. Um, Now you hear from everybody them tell you that you need to find something bigger than yourself, and and that's part of having the perfect my perfect day involves having other people have their perfect day, and their perfect day also involving uh, sitting by a fire pit smoking a joint with me, and that's where we find ourselves. um, Now we are in a simulation. That's actually how I found God, by running simulations in my brain. Um, this is what I found myself doing when I meditated, when I sat still. Um, the woo wee is an interesting thing because it's like it's translated as do by doing nothing, and and when I sat and did nothing, I relived moments in time. I think here's like I think this is what we do. We just tell the story and like interject different things. Like I think I get better at telling the story and know which of my stories to tell. So the joke that we need to get to is that like where I'm trying to trend to is like to find God, you must run a bunch of simulations to where you're aware of things that you'd never be aware of, but yet you're not aware of them all, right? So like in sports you like watch tape, right? So you this event happened one time and you made all of these choices, and then you look at it on a film from a different perspective, and then you're asked questions of like why, what, where, when, what, how, right? But there's no we don't I guess we do, some of us do that, but like we we want to manifest, we think that we manifest things from putting ideas into the universe, but you can also manifest things being indifferent to by being aware and indifferent of things. That's I mean, that's what it is. And through doing that, like you find God. So in finding God, you basically are finding what is a reality. A reality is a problem in which you don't have a solution for or unwilling to You're unwilling to take action or unaware of a solution for it, right? That nope. I mean, that's, you got to get that in there, right? It's the arc. Like that's like, how do I make informing you what reality is an experience? Like the bottleneck are the things that I think you need to know. Like you need to know that this is all a joke, but the fact that it's a joke makes it real. And the reason that it is real and a joke is because it's the most absurd. It is a solution to, it's the most simple solution to your problem, accomplished in the most absurd way, in the most absurd way, and I'm making that a reality. That is what this is. This is that um, personified. Um, and the reality that needs to be, the most absurd reality to be solved would be humanity. And if you think about how you solve humanity, you need to fix society. And what would be the most absurd way? What is the most absurd thing in society? I think religion is the most absurd thing in society, um, but needed. Like, it's like, I'm not arguing with that, but it's the most absurd thing. So if that's the most absurd thing to society, what would be the most absurd version of a religion? And the reason why I think religion is the most divisive is the most absurd thing is because I find it to be the most divisive thing. Um, so the most absurd religion would be a religion that brings everybody together. And this experience that I want to provide, this comedy, this version of smoking a joint with my people when my people are God. And I guess we'll get into that. I guess when, like, that's the part that I'm there is a point at which an idea becomes a thought, and the thought encompasses the idea, right? So there's a moment when there's always three of you. There's always one thing is always three things. There's the me, there's the whole part of that you are at your core. That's the me, id, or ego. I don't remember what that is. Um, it's not a new phenomenon. Um, but the me, you know, the me is the thing that knows everything about everything inside of you, like who you are, how to breathe, all of those things. Um, and then there's the you. Um, the you is all of the things that are inside of me, the things that you're aware of and not aware of, and what things are allowed to come in and pass through and what aren't, all of that. Um, that is the you. That's the one that's the person that you want to show to the people that you think or will or don't want to influence me. Mm. This is very lectury on purpose. You're never gonna fucking get through this. Uh, like this is so I think I need to explain like with the comedy why this is comedy. So if you think about it, like what I oh, this is the story of how we get it out. Like the stories, I need to get to this story. Um, and in my head, it's a good story. When I tell it in my head, I gotta get used to telling it. So like, this is going to sound like a maybe that's what I say. So I'm my perfect day is smoking a joint. My perfect day is any day that involves me sitting outside smoking a joint with some of my people. Mhm. And when the dream that I thought I wanted collapsed with COVID, I had to shut my gym down. I I was able to have a person that would yeah, this is the story. I just got to get the tempo. Um, I was able to achieve my perfect day during that. So basically the loop is I thought I wanted to have a successful gym, but I didn't want it. Really, that's not what I wanted out of the experience. I wanted a person to smoke a joint with at the end of the day and just have absurd conversations with. Um, and I got that. Like I had a great girlfriend. We would sit in the pot tub. We called it the pot tub. Like every night, we would turn the hot tub on. We would fucking get naked and we would just go and sit in the hot tub, smoke a joint, and just sit there and let go. Like we talked a lot about our days and everything. We also found out that we're kind of fucking morons. Um, like I got so high one time that I forgot how to use the microwave. Uh, like the routine would be we got these microwavable dinners, so we would put them out on the counter. They'd come to room temperature. We'd go outside. We'd um, sit in the pot tub for like 45 minutes to an hour. We'd come inside. We'd throw those bad boys in the microwave for 3 minutes. Boom, bang, bang. We're fucking eating like it's 2127 or something. Boom, just like the fucking Jetsons. Um, and one day I just fucking walked in the house and I grabbed them. I opened them up, put a little bit of cheese on it, put them in the microwave, or opened the door, put them in the microwave, closed the door, and just fucking stared at the screen. And like it was a dial and there's a button, and like I went back to like 1984 when like the clicked both times and like there were like real dials that clicked, and then you had like little buttons that you pushed that beeped. I just had none of that. None of that. It was just like a little touchpad and a dial, and then like totally forgot how to fucking like a fucking monkey in a lab, and I fucking forgot how to do it. Yeah, and that's the shit you get when you like spend your. That's the shit that I wanted. Like that's my perfect day. Is like I did that in front of her, and we laugh hysterically at it. Um, but if it happened any other time, I might be like super pissed about it. I wouldn't be super pissed about it anymore, but like I haven't forgot how to use the microwave since. So I guess it's a good thing, and it's like hilarious to think that you could forget how to use a microwave. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do, and I had it. It was great. We were doing that every night, and then something changed, and she didn't want to. Um, she didn't want to smoke anymore. Now I think being a pothead, for lack of a better term, is like a lot like being a Marine or a uh, uh, Marine or a Navy SEAL or a Special Forces person. It's like um, once you are one of those things, like you're never not one of those things. Like you're just that thing waiting to be that thing again. And my girlfriend, my person, my ex-girlfriend, she says, and I believe it to be true, that she was a giant pothead in college. Um, and I think she dipped her toe into it and was having a little bit too much fun and um, slipping to the dark side, and decided that she wanted to hang on and not. She still cares about her job and all that other shit. That's too much. That's not funny at all, dude. You don't need to say that. But it's true. So she ended up recusing, removing herself from doing it. So I ended up having to do it by myself. Um, and that's when uh, I kind of the Google decided that I needed to go back to meditating, and went back into Taoism, and then Wu Wei came a big thing. And like Wu Wei is, what do you do while you're doing nothing? People think it's doing things by doing. It's kind of, it seems like it has a bad rap where you think that somebody's just sitting there, and on the outside it may look like that, but like when I'm doing nothing, I'm running simulations in my head, like literal, going back in time and reviewing things. Like how was the moment before that? And a moment is simply um, the beginning and end of a part of an experience, right? It could be an hour, it could be 4 hours, but it could last a second, or it could last an eternity. But that's the measurement that science is trying to use. Um, it's not hours, it's a moments. Um, and the moment duration could be anything. But when you there's that time between moments, um, where I meditate and I will watch tape, for lack of a better term, on that previous moment, because I think, because I constantly, because in doing that, in reviewing those moments, you find out as you're moving forward and finding new moments that you end up in similar or even the very same moment. Um, I never got to the part of the reason why this is so fucking preachy is because we're starting a fucking religion, man. Like, it's the dumbest fucking thing ever. Like, I know that, like, the me inside of me says that it's the dumbest fucking idea ever. Um, and me is having a hard time, like, letting go of falling off that cliff, because it's really fucking dumb. Um, and not so much because there's going to be an abrupt fall at the end, right? Like letting go, I fully accept. Like, there's going to be a loud thud at some point. Like, we're falling off this cliff, and it's not gonna fall forever, and I don't think it has a cushy bottom at the end of it. It's gonna be just a loud bam. So I'm having a hard time. Me's having a hard time letting go, knowing that that's a high likelihood. Not because of the thud though, because there's a possibility that I'm wrong, and there is no thud. And what if it ends up this most absurd way, this of doing the most absurd thing works as fixing the problem? And I think that it does, and it might not, but it might, and that's the terrifying part. The anticipation. There is only two emotions: anticipation and disappointment. Um, and that's what I'm trying to build this into, is just like a non-stop, rapid fire, long-winded, nuanced Easter egg hunt, uh, riddled assault, mind fuck of philosophy, perspectives, and solutions. And I want to have I want to have moments where there's interactions, but a buffer, and that's what this online experiment is. is I don't know how it happens. I know it can be done, but there's interaction between my experience and your experience, and we try to create a better experience. And then the stage part of it is my experience of our experience. So obviously you're not here, and you're not there's the in-person experience, and then there's the what's the other one going to be? There's the material experience and the immaterial experience. Like the immaterial experience can be as real as like looking at a computer and seeing someone's face and hearing their voice, but they're not there. Like the vibration, little vibrations of being a person, like those little things, no matter how minute, you can't describe them or feel or may not even know that they're there, but they do have an influence downstream. Um, those in-person things aren't there. So having an opportunity to talk about the experience that I want to provide gives me a better opportunity of providing that experience. So like this is trying to manifest, coming up with a game plan to manifest my nonsense is basically what this is. Okay, fucking awesome. Um, when you're talking, you're talking in your head and you're talking to God and you're saying your prayers, uh, when you run enough simulations with that, you realize that God is real, um, but God is everybody around you. So the experiment is showing that that's true. So how do you do that? Is you cut out the middleman. So I'm not I'm not talking to God in my head. I'm talking to God out loud into the void, which is basically the same fucking thing. And when you say it out loud at night when nobody's around or somebody listens, like your parents are listening through your door, or like however the vibration gets to somebody that matters, um, that's the true beginning of your moment. And if the moment actually becomes a real moment, if in the moment that the moment is created, you're aware that the moment is going to be great, would you want to document it? And if so, when you looked back at tape on that moment, would you have any regrets? And I think I would, is I would regret not documenting my story so somebody else can tell my story right, in creating like this pseudo religion that I think should be a real religion. So I'm trying to create it through comedy. And you think, why comedy? Like comedy because this is fucking hilarious. It's so fucking funny. And if you think about it, like, what is the most tenured, longest running comedian in society? It's a priest or a clergyman or any of those people. If you think about it, like, what is a comedian? A comedian is something that looks at, at some information or art and is able to stand up and is able to uh, provide an alternative experience. That's a lot of fucking words, but that's what it is. Like, we've all lived on Earth, on the same planet for as many years as we've lived, and you can go and see a comedian and they'll tell you a joke, and the reason why it's a good joke is because it provides an experience. Now, we've hijacked that into thinking that it should all be funny, and even so, the best comedians aren't the ones that make a funny joke. They're the ones that provide that experience where you're you laugh so you don't cry jokes, and then you cry because you're laughing so hard. Um, and you can't tell that, like, a good comedian is, you're looking at the audience and half of them are crying because they're laughing so hard, and half of them are crying because they passed through laughing, because if they didn't laugh they would be crying. So like that's dumb. I'm supposed to go try this out at open mic night tomorrow. I don't think I'm ready, but maybe I just go and bomb. Maybe that's like, to first be an asset, you must be ass, right? Like, you're gonna have to, like, you've bombed before, but maybe that's what you need to do. Um, need to do with maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe that is, you learn more from your mistakes than you ever have from any of your successes, right? And if you think about it, your success can only possibly be, for you to have a balanced life, your successes must net somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 18% of your experiences. And if you think about how many experiences you have, if you live in 3% of your true experience where nothing else truly matters, then like you don't realize how big 3% can be. But if you're always constantly focusing on your realities, the problems you don't have solutions to, um, the 3% of the good choices can seem like a very small number. And it's kind of wild when you think about it, right? Like, we are really only in control of 3%. Outside of that 3%, it can go horribly, horribly wrong, horribly, horribly bad, and there's nothing that we could have done about it. So when you realize that, it's like, when you bomb, it's just kind of like, you know, I know it's not going the way that I wanted to, but at least it's going, right? Like, I'm not, I suck. I know I suck. But I suck less than I did yesterday. And eventually, I'm going to suck in ways that no one else is going to understand. And that's how this goes. But unfortunately, I've done so many simulations on this. Like, I've been here before, and this is your first time. So there's like so many things that you need to know before we can go forward. And it's like what is it? Drinking from a fire hose it's like the dog sticking his head out the window. Um, in a swamp area with all the fucking mosquitoes driving at 60 miles an hour with his head stuck out the window. Like, yeah, there's parts where it feels real good, but then there's other parts where you're like getting hit in the face by bugs. And then sometimes that bug is just what you needed to be hit by. So you stick your head back in the window or do something different. I don't know. That doesn't work. That story needs to be adjusted. Like, sometimes you're the bug and sometimes you're the windshield. But the thing we forget about the bug, when it's not the windshield, it's living like a fucking fantastic experience, right? It's flying, it's just floating through all of this wind and everything, and you're getting hit by it, right? But from the bug's perspective, it there's so many of them that a few of them get hit, but your car looks like it's covered. Like, you hit so many, but like it's not that many of the bugs. And that's kind of what reality is. You're gonna hit the door. That's the joke. Um, my comedy is a lot like running through a house in the summer months. We've all we've all I'm assuming that we've all done this, where you've been in somebody's house and they have this big, huge, nice patio outside, and it's got this big, very open, what looks like to be an airy thing. And you're like, oh, fuck, you can't leave this open the whole time. And like, no, we have these screens and we have these glass doors that we put in the places, and they nicely sit right on top of each other, so you can't tell if it's fucking open or closed. And you came into the party a little bit late, so you're walking the house, and like mom or dad or whoever, the person that owns the house usually is the way this is the most embarrassing. Is there, and they're like, oh, everybody's in the backyard, and you're like, yeah, okay, cool, and you start walking, and they call your name, and they're like, hey, come play catch. So you start running outside, and you get to the threshold of this very nicely, very modular looking door, and you can hear them clearly, so you don't think that there's anything there. And the moment before it happens, you hear somebody yell, wait, and your whole body feels the screen, and then you're running through a screen in somebody's yard. And so you either bounce off of that, boof, like, oh, or you run straight through that motherfucker, and then you end up like toppling over and breaking something on the other side, and nothing's ever the same again. And that's my challenge for comedy. Like, it's not gonna make a lot of sense. You're not gonna see it coming, but at one point you're gonna be walking down the street, or sitting awake at night, or maybe even here right now, and you're just gonna go, what? And laugh, or just go, what? It's kind of like an old person that says something profound. It took me 30 years to really, and longer than that, 35 years to get the statement of, if you have a bad day, it's because you made bad choices. We think that the important choices that we make are the what we are doing, but it's the what we do to what we do that matters, right? Like, you clicked on the link. If you're watching this, like, you clicked on the link, right? Like, I told you at the beginning, and it says it on the screen, like, this isn't for you, go away. Like, you made the choice to stay here, and I appreciate that choice, don't get me wrong, if anybody ever makes it. But like I said, like I want to say at the beginning, like, whatever happened from that point on is your fault. Like, you chose to put yourself in my simulation. And I appreciate it, and I want people to be involved in my simulation because I want it to be influenced by my people, so I can have as many of my people smoke a joint with me by a fire pit every night, and the people that want to do it are smoking it with their people at a fire pit every night, and the ones that don't want to are fucking doing whatever they want to do. But I don't think enough of us are having the opportunity to smoke a joint with our people um, on a nightly basis, and that's what I'm creating, trying to create. And I need to create the story. That's the wild thing. It's fucking crazy. So we get into the reason why it's gonna say, like, if you're creating, if you are creating a religion, and we agree that the longest running comedians are clergymen, what is the most absurd way to handle clergymen? And it would be to have as many of them as you want to be able to stand up in front of everybody and give their perspective of whatever they wanted to. Basically, have an open mic night all the time. With some differences. Yeah, this is where I like write in my head, and like I want it to be good. Like, the joke that I want to point out is like the what I want to create is literally a place where there could be an open mic night all the time and run just on its own, because we all agree with what it needs to be run as. Because that's really what smoking a joint by a fire pit is. It's just an open mic night for the audience size that you're comfortable with. Some of us are comfortable with our open mic night just being one or two people. Some of us want to be the audience of the open mic night. Some of us just want to be in the audience. We want to listen. We want to be that gentle pressure. We want to laugh or not laugh and that be enough of a reaction, or we want to chuckle and move and that be enough. Just being there, um, to have the experience with. Like some of us just want to do that. Um, those are the ones that are forgotten, I think, today. Like the ones that are just in the simulations, the ones that are whether non P NPCs, non player characters. Um, some of us want that, and like this part I think is hilarious. Like some of us want to be NPCs. That is my preferred method of existence, is to be an NPC. So you're gonna tell me where I need to be, how long I need to be there. Okay, cool. No. Okay, cool. Let's change that up a little bit. Like I'll be there during these times and I'll tell you when I'm gonna be there. Like perfect for me. Just like a video game, like you don't need me all the time. Like you can try to entice me to be there, so I'll either be there all every day at the same time or there whenever like I get to choose. An NPC with is something that has influence. I'm an influential NPC. I don't know. That's this joke is funny if I could tell it right. But like everybody thinks being an NPC is an absurd way to exist, but like I live as an NPC. I don't have a job. I they're like you can't live without a job and being married and have kids and all of these things. I'm like I've never been married. I don't have kids. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't. I'm a rideshare driver, so I don't have a job, and I think I have like $18 in my bank account right now, and it's great. And everybody out there is thinking like that's the most absurd thing I've ever heard. But like, I don't stress about the housing prices. I don't stress about gas. Uh, I stress about making sure my person is happy. Um, everybody like I need to like be able to what wrap this up because my life is absurd. Like I live with my ex-girlfriend under a contract we created um, after she broke up with me because I have been working on this project and seemingly am unmotivated to do anything. Um, and it's the best relationship I could ask for. I do think right now, like I'm pushing the envelope with some things because like a contract is only as good as you're going to enforce it. And although I don't want her to enforce it, sometimes that's what the S&M thing is, right? Sometimes you need to have the whip crack and just be like, hey, let's get this shit going. Um, and I think because I've become kind of laissez-faire about it, she's become laissez-faire about it. Like she's supposed to give me, basically, I'm an indentured servant. Um, I give her a small stipend for use of the room every week, and I may design her cookie cutters and do a chore, um, like a little honey-do list, and like that's how I'm able to stay where I'm staying. So basically, I'm trying to. I can't like basically I'm trying to write the new Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they were able to live and travel throughout the galaxy on $30 a day. Um, I'm trying to rewrite that because only with inflation we're at about $50 to $60 a day, um, and I think that we should be able to make it $0 a day, because I don't disagree with my father or the movies that say being an artist can't pay the bills. And since I think that you should be able to live as an artist as long as you want to, it sounds like we need to create a place where there are no bills. Wow, that it sounds very like rally-y. I guess you don't avoid that, right? Like I'm not that like excited about it, but it sounds like I should be. But I'm like I'm excited as everybody else is about it. Like I think it's cool. I think it's smart. I think it makes sense. I think it's hilarious that all of these little circular motion things are true, and like we know that they're true, but we decide not to do them. And if we just did them, like literally a bunch of shit would come crashing down. But all of that shit are the bugs that we don't hit with our windshield anyway. So just let them fucking float by and they'll figure their own shit out. I'm like 1 minute away from being the fucking crazy person on the corner saying that Jesus is here to save us. That's literally what I literally what me, the one that's hanging on, trying not to let go, is like that is a real possibility that you just fucking let go and you end up getting kicked out of your situation and you just stand in a corner with a cardboard box screaming the shit to people. I don't want to do that. Like, fucking, I really am living the dream, man. I really, really am. I think everybody else should too. Like, how do we fucking do that? Because, like, right now, I would rather be doing literally anything else. Um, but there's something beyond me that is saying that I need to do this for some reason for right now. For the foreseeable future, like, I need to make the marquee real. And the reason why I need to make the marquee real, because if the marquee is real, then I've achieved everything that I want to achieve. And that's what the universe ball is. So let me fucking let me get the universe ball action going. So the universe ball is the name of something that lets you know that you've lived the most absurd. You've done the most absurd, the most absurdly. Um, and like the marquee is like the most absurd version of my reality that it could be. So like if you think about it, what the fuck does it say? Like the third place information bureau is like some wild concept of like the society that I built is called the third place. The information bureau, the society is made up of four pillars: government, competition, art, and information. And if we have an information bureau, that means that's the part putting this performance on is like the opposite part from the art bureau. So like it's signifies that everything is working the way that it should be working. A tinfoil hat time production means that I'm doing well myself, well enough to have my own production company, or at least the person that I'm portraying to the third level of society, the god, the entertainer's part, where we make them into like partial gods where we think they're infallible, but yet they're really just people performing on a much larger stage. Um, and that's what tinfoil HT is. That's the pseudonym of Simple Sean. We'll get to that in a minute. But live from Earth, um, I do think we should be, or if we're an inner planet, I do believe in aliens, and I have a very interesting concept of that. Like, I think aliens are just, I'm one of those people, like, if you're asking me to come up with a story, and I realize that all past stories are possible, but if you're asking me to have a story about it, we are aliens, and I don't think that this is the first iteration of AI that we've had. I think that the younger Dryas is not is not a impact of like a meteor. I think it is a shuttle launch gone wrong. I think society does end up dividing into two people: those who want to become into balance with the Earth, and those who want to become equilibrium with the universe. So you have these two people and the universe people. One of them, I'm not going to say which one because I don't know, but I think it's the universe people. They end up combining themselves with AI, and like the aliens that we see are the evolution of the two coming together. Whether it is a super smart ship and a mushy alien, or maybe it's the mushies on the outside with a little bit of hardware, and like I don't know how it works. Fucking evolution is weird. Um, we're all we're all fucked up people, and I don't know how like genius that would be able to come up with that would think. Um, but basically, that's what aliens are. So the four different kinds of aliens would mean that we've done it four different times. We've launched four different spaceships into the world, and like this is the next iteration of us. And we're at the moment in time where we either collapse or we are able to like build two. Oh, that's a lot of fucking words, dude. That's why we're live from Earth, because we are fucking. I do think we're multiplanetary and like we're interstellar and like, um, and like the rats, um, like the rat experiment where they taught the rats to like zap them when they went towards the light, and then they started going to the dark, and then it was learned in England. I think it's where humans are like that too, like consciousness. There are other black holes that have consciousness, and if our part of consciousness has it, then their part's gonna have it, and like they learn how to do it, we learn how to do it, and like we co-evolve that way. And so, since I believe that, it's gonna be super like it would be super confusing to have to remember it. It's like going to a big family reunion and like not knowing, like you don't know what anybody's fucking called anymore. Like, are you gay? Are you bi? Are you black? Are you white? Are you whatever? Like you're just a fucking person, man. Like why can't we just all be people? And if that's the attitude, like we're gonna have aliens. Like we just need to be from Earth. We don't need to be from the United States or Canada or Arizona or whatever. You just at some point we just have to be from Earth. And that's why this is from Earth. Because everybody's invited. We're all having a good time. That's what it's supposed to be. It may not be a good time. We're all having an experience. And you get to choose what that is. Like you want to choose that it's shitty, like that fucking that's not I don't agree with it, but good on you, bud. Um, but I'm choosing to have a whatever this is. I think it's an interesting ordeal. Um, so mental masturbating. Oh fuck! I hit the return on mental masturbating. Mostly because all of this is basically me talking to myself anyway. Isn't that what the whole thing is? Like you just sit there and you talk. Like podcasting is literally have taking your internal. This is me taking my internal thoughts and trying to put them into cohesive sentences to tell um, the void that doesn't matter. Like in my head, at least I know I'm talking to somebody who cares, and that like it's just a void in there. Like you're talking, you don't know who's listening, but you know at least they know that you're there, and like if they cared, they would let you know. But doing it this way, it's fucking wild because like it's the other direction, but like I don't even know if anybody's out there. Like I know there are people out there, but I don't know if there's anybody out there that cares, and I don't know if anybody out there. And it's like not a complaint; it's just a super weird observation to make. It's like you're kind of flying solo out there, and that's what making this kind of feels like right now. And then the Pat McAfee show, Speakeasy. Um, Pat McAfee, I chose Pat McAfee as an interesting ordeal. Like he's few different layers on that one. Like he's the opposite of me. He is the kinetic version of me. He's I'm not gonna say that I understand him, but like of the observation that I have, like it's when you're in the moment, there's like, and you're able to control the fire hydrant of nonsense that is coming at you. Like there's some, it's crazy, it's crazy in there, and it's a lot, and it's fun when you get to experience in like short bursts. It's hilarious. It can be great, but like when you're in it all the time and your brain's going all the time, it's just like it's a fucking wild place sometimes. And I can appreciate that. And I have a lot of great ideas, but I don't have any like this is my great idea. Um, we're both you're a giver of experiences, whether it's your experience or providing means for other people to have their experiences, whether it's taking the boys uh, to the All-Star game or field pass or donating money to people so they can do whatever they want to have their experiences. Like you provide experiences, and like you're a movement, you're kinetic. I'm a potential person. Like I have a lot of great ideas. My ideas are not they're flashy, but they're not flashy. I legitimately built an entire society because I thought it would be fun, and now I'm trying to see if I can build it in the real world. And it sounds like a fucking freaky ordeal, but like I don't want to be in charge of it, so I feel like it's okay because I am a giver of responsibility. You are a giver of experiences. I'm a giver of responsibility. So I want to make I'm the worst uncle ever. And that's the way that I would be the leader of. Like I'm like an uncle grandparent. Like you give your kid to your I don't have kids, but this is what I like. You give your kid to your parents, and they fucking do all of the shit that like they would never let you do. Like eating candy before this shit. They fucking feed them candy, let them stay up late, shake them up like a fucking soda bottle, and give them back to the parents, and say good luck. And you can't pop the top off that thing because there's just spray, and like that's what they've done to your kids. Oh, I was going somewhere with this. Fuck. Mm, uh, yeah, then that's what I am. That's the type of leader that I am. I'm gonna come up with an idea, and everybody's gonna say it's great, and I'm just gonna shake up the can and throw it in the middle of everybody. And be like, all right, let me know what you need to make it happen. Like that's what I think government is supposed to do, and that's what I think society should be like. Like I have an idea, you go do it, and if you have an idea, go do it. Cool, cool. But yeah, um, no fucking clue why I said that, but I thought it was funny. Um, but yeah, so Pat McAfee is that's what potential is. I'm potential. I shake it up. You open the can to see like what's actually going to happen. Like I have a pretty good idea of what I want to happen, but like I want you to go and figure that shit out. But McAfee is like he has an idea and he's like I'm gonna find out. Like, I'm okay with not finding. If you guys don't really want to find out, I don't really want to find out either. But if you want to find out, like I'm prepared to go a really long way. So that's why we use and McAfee is like the 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 name of the most popular experience in my sphere of influence. That didn't go very well. But like my timeline is always riddled with like Pat McAfee's making $60 million a year. Like who gives a fuck? Uh, like what is the statement? Like if you're not paying my bills, then you don't need to know how much I'm making. Type of situation. Like fuck it. Like good for you, dude. Have fun with it. It's absurd and irresponsible, but fucking good for you. Um, but that's a whole different level. But we need that competition. Like fucking calm down, buddy. Um, but yeah, I think he's like the Dick Clark, Ryan Seacrest, next iteration of that. It's like Dick Clark and Ryan Seacrest had a baby, and it was raised by um, Coach Coach Curso. Fuck, forgot his name. The hat guy. That's a funny joke. That's what Pat McAfee is. He's Dick Clark had a baby with Ryan Seacrest, and it was raised by Coach Corso. uh, It's kind of fucked up, but I think it's funny. But like he's that beacon of my culture, for lack of a better term, um, a culture I would like to be involved in. So that's why it's Pat McAfee show Speakeasy. Also, he seems to be trying out a whole bunch of fucking interesting things, and YouTube felt the need to show me that uh, McAfee had actually done stand-up comedy, and I did enjoy experiencing that through YouTube. And he's actually pretty fucking good. He seems to be spreading his legs to do all of these new things that he hasn't done before, and I think it would be interesting to uh, hear his take on some things that he actually planned on saying what he was going to say, because he is he is a brilliant person on the cuff when minimal. I don't think that there's no point. I don't think that all of that show is not like, hey, if we go here, this is what we're gonna do. If we there's a lot of like audibles. There's assigned audibles, I think, with different topics that they have. I don't think it's scripted, but I'm like, hey, if we go here and I do this, we're gonna do this, and like I think I think that's cool if that's the way it works, because that takes so much work and so much trust and so much knowing each other. Like that's the reality of the Pat McAfee show. That's the show that I want to create. Is one that we have audible. We know the audibles, and we're flowing in the right direction. But fuck, fuck a duck. Um, all right, well, we'll get better at that. So featuring Simple Show on his tinfoil hat time. That's just the illustration that like this is the person that I'm putting on the show of the influence of my influences. Um, like I said, there's the me, there's the Sean, there's the name that my mom gave me, there's the name that I went by for a long time before I decided to do this weird thing. Um, that's the me that I know that I am. That's the part of me that says that we need to have. Uh, we should document this, because if it does end up being a thing, it's important that people know that you're a genuine person. And no matter how this turns out, like intentions don't mean anything, but like I really just want this. I really just doing this so I can spend my days smoking a joint with people that I want to smoke with, um, and that's the motivation. Um, and the person that I'm going to portray that, going to achieve that with, is this tinfoil hat time character that I'm making be the stage persona, for lack of a better term. And I have no problem being him, like, but he's mean. He's mean sometimes. Sometimes intentionally mean, sometimes unintentionally mean. Um, and I think mean is what you need, and mean is intended sometimes. Um, but you have to be worth being mean to. And I don't know if you are, and if you are worth being mean to, I need to know how mean I can be, um, and still have you be in my sphere of influence. So that's kind of just a notating, like we're learning. We have a newborn. God and I had a baby, and it's tinfoil HT. Oh, that's fucking weird. I mean, that's kind of true. God and I had a baby, and it's tinfoil HT, and I get to control it, like Geppetto. Um, the wooey on the wahoo, like that, just bringing in the wooey, the Tao phrase. I don't know if it's Tao, like whatever the phrase came from. Do by doing nothing. Like this is what I enjoy doing. I just enjoy making up absurd things and seeing if they would come true. And like that's just signifying that out the wahoo means like it this fucking nonstop, man. It's coming out everywhere. And I'm sorry, not sorry for whatever happens next. Like whatever happens next is up to you. Like you turning off is an option. Be where your feet are, jam. That's kind of like This is just happening in the moment. Like I'm, this is me practicing. I do sit outside and meditate in bed and like relive these intros and these attempts at like putting the special together, and try to make them better. And I have great ideas in my brain and I'm trying to get them out. Um, but like when I'm performing, I'm never going to be able to like have a script. Um, I don't have an idea where I want to go, and like the vibe is always going to take me where it ends up going. And like that's just the way that um, that's the way I think it's got to be. And yeah, this is simulation number 3, so it'd be with a simulation of whatever we're on at the time. But yeah, that's why it's so absurd. Like that's what I just came up with. I thought to myself, what would be the most absurd title to a comedy special, and it would be the longest, most detailed title ever. So that's what I came up with. And then after I came up with it, I sat back and thought about it, and like, it's the perfect fucking title because of all of these things. Like, if I am able to make all of those lines come true, that is the perfect date. And like, this is telling me how many times I've actually tried to make it real. So I'm on time number 3. So like, if you're on your 3rd try, can you really expect to be close to where you really want to go? I mean, yes, yes you can. Um, but if you're not, like, I think you kind of got to be okay with it and just keep pushing forward. Now, what's the number that you stop trying? Like, I think the number that it stops playing me fun, but this is fun for me. It actually like so moments you experience moments in like 3 different spots in your body, right? Like there's the butthole moments. Those are like the pucker up your butthole moments. Um, Near-death experiences, almost falling off a cliff, almost watching somebody that you love fall off a cliff. Like anytime that I watch a movie, a horror movie, like my butthole puckers up, like squeezes real tight, like a fucking. I feel like a dolphin lives its real existence. Like those moments, um, those are like your scary moments. Those are the ones that like those ones alter your existence, not just your experience. And then you have like the gut moments. These are the ones where you like you first really let go, uh, falling over a roller coaster, um, where you're you're not sure what's going to happen, um, and you're not in control. Maybe you're not in control of any of these, but like it's that falling over the edge right in your gut, like it rises up. And then you have like the upper chest ones, like the expansion and contraction one, like when you fall in love with somebody or you meet somebody and you can't really like your chest gets bigger, it feels bigger, it gets lighter, um, like it's fuller. And then like when you break up with somebody or somebody dies, like your chest kind of like contracts. It feels like it's getting compressed, right? And like me doing that is one of those moments where like it's not like a huge like expansion, but it's definitely there. And like before I go into it, like I pace around the fucking house, and like there's that pressure here, and then as soon as I hit play, like it gradually goes, and like I'm trying to get to the that's what we're doing. um I don't think you guys achieved anything. Probably was absolutely horrible. I do apologize for that, but this has been an hour. We put in some time. I will relive this and we'll do it again tomorrow. Remember, there is no action without a reaction. So react with purpose, react promptly, and if possible, react politely.